Yeah, we're back, baby. So a few months back, probably even a year regarding how much it takes to make one dumb video, I released my biggest video up to date, Emico Otero's Holo ARG lore. And this video no doubt has received a lot of positive feedback by old and new viewers. There's a reason why I call it my golden child of videos. Like hell, at the time of writing this, it has over 7k views and more than 500 likes, which is insane to me. I feel like now, of course, I could do a better job with the voice acting, the quality and such, but it makes me so happy to see people actually excited and supporting this really different video from what I usually make. But since I'm not a perfect content creator, I missed and misread many things that could have possibly made my whole timeline fiasco way better than looking back at it now. I missed a shit ton of videos I regarded not very useful, which was a big mistake because, as Emico once said,
"There's always a storyline, you cannot escape it."
Yeah, that quote is stuck on my fridge. So for today's video, mini movie, whatever we want to call it, sequel, I'm going to closely look back at my mistakes and correct them, and by the end of it, a new, developed, and better timeline will be created. So, let's start by the beginning. To start, let me correct every mistake I made on the original video first, and then dive in the other videos later, starting with...
Now, this is the first video of what I will call the Holo lore of Emico Otero, but I'm gonna call it Holo lore.
Okay, so I was wrong. The first 3 videos posted are not canon in the slightest. Those 3 videos are kinda like one-shots of Emico regarding Amesame's A Way Out collab. In that game, you play as 2 characters, and at the end of the game, one of both characters, Vincent or Leo, have to die, and so those videos are an imagining of the aftermath of both outcomes. I, however, believe I did a good job at not involving it directly at the timeline, but I did consider them as possibilities in many scenarios, which could have been changed and made the process of creating the timeline way easier.
So you see the reflection we see in the end of the video. I think, and it might be kind of a stretch, but I think it's the same reflection of Gura in the vending machine. And it's Amelia from another timeline, watching Gura fall down this path of remorse.
Okay, I know we discussed how the first 3 videos are non-canon, but this theory is so fucking dumb. I can see what I was going with, but I really am kinda dumb sometimes, damn. If I, hypothetically, was correct, then so many things would have been very badly structured, which is definitely not the case. Like damn, if it was true, why would Gura not see Amelia? Why would this alternate Amelia know about herself being dead? My god, I'm so sorry, this is so dumb.
It's basically saying that the train is a visual reference to Gura's mind and thoughts of what is happening right now.
Okay, so this part isn't necessarily wrong, but I do want to explain further. So, take the concept of a train. You know how you go from one station to another and shit like that? Well, imagine the stations are conclusions, and the traveling from station to station by train is the thought process, from one conclusion to another conclusion. While streaming my watch along of the whole series, I came up with this theory. So it's like that. And in this context, it's like, okay, Amo is missing after she was investigating Kiara's disappearance, which she disappeared right after Holo Talk, which she got shot and she might die, but since she's a phoenix, she might be reborn in another place. But in when Ame was investigating Kiara's disappearance, Ina was found in the same place as Ame where she died, and they were like, wait, how much do you know about Ame's disappearance? But she didn't answer shit, which might give him into some consideration, thinking, okay, she's kind of suspicious. And then you hear Ina has gone missing, which either solidifies your theory or makes your theory crumble. So that's the reason where they're like, okay, do you know Mori Calliope, Gura? And she's like, who is Mori Calliope? It's like, this inner voice, this inner conscience is talking about, okay, since there's no more options, do you know Mori Calliope? And she's like, who is Mori Calliope? You know, it's kind of crazy and insane. So yeah, Gura arrives at the conclusion that Ina is suspicious, and that she doesn't have any other clues from people that aren't disappeared or that she knows, since she forgets about Callie. We know Callie is stuck in the underworld, and we know that at the end of that video, Kiara gets a call from Callie. She appeared in front of the KFP building, but Callie wasn't alone in the underworld. Ina was also there. Again, this isn't much of a mistake, rather this was a cool detail I just found out. In Kiara's phone we see the letters of MC, which stand for Mori Calliope. But later, when we see the text saying someone is calling you, only the letters M and C are in capital letters. I don't know, just a cute little detail I wanted to point out. But I do want to talk about something I completely missed in my original video. Right when we see the text, there's a letter substitution code on the bottom left that says the following. My god, how did I miss this? So this tells us that someone uses Watson's clock to time travel? If someone had to do it, it would be Ina possessed by the Ancient Ones, right? Or rather, this is a warning that the abuse of time traveling may lead to an unfortunate end. Callie has a lot of out of context videos, such as the Corone one. So who knows? I can be excused for this one. I left a big video. So for the bomb defusal, it is important to address some stuff than to ask more. In the video we see Corona and Callie referencing their collab of Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. When the time comes to give instructions, Corona doesn't respond to Callie's requests, which end up being pleas of despair. The video ends with Corona presumably dying, and a message, which if decrypted, says,
Test of Mori Calliope's fear of death.
So this brings up the question of why are they testing Callie? Who is testing her? Are the Ancient Ones involved in this test? Are they the testers? And then I say this video is not important, damn. So as far as I'm concerned, these are all the videos and theories I got wrong or didn't explain further. I do think it's my ignorance at fault. I kinda wanted to release this video as fast as possible so it doesn't get the DDLC video treatment of development hell. So I cut corners and made a rush mess that could have been handled way better and under better conditions. And also, I had the other script not being fully written while I was recording, so you can see where that went down. So, before we continue, I want to thank the Emico Otero Discord, especially the detective agency, for being so kind and welcoming. I appreciate and admire all their research, because my god, people here are smart. They have helped the progress to go way smoother. Thank you, really. Enough praising, let's get to the hidden stuff that's lying beneath this frightening rug. Okay, so to start off, let's talk about canonicity in this series. Thanks to the Emico Otero Discord, I discovered which videos are deemed as not canon, well, more so deemed as having bonus lore. For example, this little video, Russell's Delivery Service. The whole plot is about this mage named Russell whose quest is for them to destroy 3 clocks. While not canon, one message is an exception. It's in Japanese, but translated it will say, I see. Okay, I see. Okay, so those messages may correlate to Amelia calling up for help, but also a message of the Ancient Ones regarding the appearance of the Amelia from another timeline, which we discussed back in the other video. That's an example, but for the truly not canon, well, there's of course the Q&A, the Christmas special, yada yada, and of course the A Way Out trilogy. The rest are either canonical and or precursors to other videos, so let's start with those. These teaser videos are inspired by the Alien Noir playthrough Amelia did way back, and of course Gura's Minecraft streams. Most of the secrets come from Japanese text. Translating those, it gives us Now, what do these texts mean? Starting off by AW Noir, it's obvious that this video was a precursor to either Kiara Forgets Callie or Watson's Drifting Time Misplaced, since both videos revolve on Ame investigating the disappearance of Kiara. But for Holocraft, I don't have much info, but I can think of either Gura or Ame saying the last line. But regarding the context of the video it's teasing, I may think it's referring to Gura's return from death. Yeah, Yeah, that. The video that Holograph is teasing may be Girl's Wish for Christmas, which itself is another kind of worms I will touch later on, but the basic premise of that video is about Girl's thoughts regarding recent events, such as the disappearances and Ama too, but also remembering that maybe resetting the timeline is the only plan, and by that it means that she should commit suicide, which is something we discovered on the give up option in Superliminal. Maybe the good idea is a Girl to return by death, who knows? This video is an easy one to tackle, no secret codes or anything, just references to 1998 which will become relevant, Metro Stomp which is an anagram of postmortem which will also become relevant, and the katakana for Ina is shown, which is very prominent in a lot of videos. A lot. So for these two, one is a reference to Ame's playthrough of Outer Wilds and the other is a commemorative for Amelia's birthday. The only important part is that this video samples Morse code from Among Us. Let's go! I mean, there's Japanese text translate. While it's not specifically lore related, it gives us an insight about Ame's relationship. This video, as surprising as it may be, doesn't contain any secret message, just the information of Emico saying that this is Amelia 1. There's one line that interests me though.
Isn't death meaningless?
You'll understand the purpose of this line later on. Now, this is the last bonus lore video, and there's a reason why I left it for last. It packs a lot of stuff. So, the first things we see are a disclaimer and an intro video with Japanese that translates to "Let's cook, humans," and
Infinite death is something to fear.
the cooking humans part isn't, surprising since it's Hachama, but the other line, the infinite death is something to fear, is an interesting line, I'll give them that. But if you hear clearly in the beginning, we start hearing Morse code, which if decrypted, it says,
Ina's final choice, to forget it all or fight for your dreams.
It's a line I honestly didn't see coming at all. It just looks like Ina is still active, even though she's possessed by the Ancient Ones and possibly dead, and that she has a choice, to forget and give up, or to fight against the power of the Ancient Ones, which in this case is a lot of power. Either way, the video ends with a very ominous part of Kiara dying again, and Ina makes an appearance at the end with some credits and Japanese dialogue, which if we translate, it gives us, "The end is near. Your friend is going to die. What will you do? Do you try to save them and risk your life? Or keep your pensive sadness to yourself?" Usually, the reason is not obvious. The question is, who said any of this? My theory is that the Ancient Ones are just fucking with Ina. Not in that way, reminding her that the end is near and that her friend is going to die, yada yada yada, and also remarks the options of fighting back or to give up. So from what I can see, these are the only bonus lore videos. They may not directly affect the ARG, but hide some stuff or some context to the videos they are teasing, or just general information to create our timeline. Okay, so in this chapter, we're gonna start our journey through the whole Emico Otero series, going in video posting order, kicking it off with... Now why do we start with these videos which we already spoke about? Well, we haven't dug deep enough. These 5 videos all contain a certain trait, that of ending their descriptions with a weird out-of-place text. At first, back in 2021, I thought it would be a basics for separating pieces, but with more experience and more logic implemented, it revealed that these little texts are nothing but broken parts of a link that leads up to this video. A cassette tape. Since Emico really loves implementing puzzles and codes inside his videos, this cassette does not only contain visual clues but also contains some interesting audio, more specifically Morse code. Yay! Fun. Which, if decoded, means...
Kelly was reported to be experimented on using a video simulating a death of her loved one. The reason is to create fear.
Which rounds back up to the bomb defusal with the hidden code of test of Mori Calliope's fear of death. So the reason why Kali might be gone would be that she was taken and experimented with. The biggest question is, Who did this though? The visual clue we get is a back part of another link, which takes us to... Translating the title, it says,
You found something you shouldn't see.
in this video, it resembles Ina, all that follows is true, but this video doesn't really have any visual clues except this last part. In here, it defines the word manipulative, which for me isn't something new. Manipulator, a person who controls or influences others in a clever or unscrupulous way. But the biggest and most complicated thing to understand about this video are the audio clues. In the video, there are approximately 7 pauses. 2 people were able to convert these pauses into a spectrogram, at Hiccup Enthusiast and at Hanaki, yielding the following results. This spectrogram examined further is written in Pigpen code, which, thanks to Pretzel's person, translated it says,
Eternal life.
You can start sensing some kind of pattern here, right? Infinite death is something to fear, eternal life. Maybe my theory of immortality was not that wrong after all. That of Ao wanting eternal life. But if they want eternal life, the question is, how do they achieve it? Easily, killing death herself. To understand this, we better shift our focus on this video. This video is a reference to that one Five-Mate song that Amelia sung back then. This video itself holds up a huge part of the lore, may even be the beginning of which. The biggest lore drops are the implementation of an actual date. January 17th, 1998, 3 years before the disappearances and Amelia's supposed murder. This video contains 2 links, one of them being in the description, which brings us to... The 1067 in the title will be important later on, but this odd video is reminiscent of the music tracks released. But this one in particular has the trait of having 2 Pigpen codes, in the image more visible when written. Decoding these gives us the message:
Death is next. The death of death herself will grant us immortality.
Guess who's right now, bitch? Don't you like being correct about something? Goddamn, I was so right about immortality. I didn't even know what I was saying that back then, but damn. It feels good to be correct for once. How does Ao plan on killing death herself then, you may ponder? The easy answer is by forgetting death. The ignorance of the concept of death may lead to the ability of killing it. Now, the question is, where does the other broken link in the original video take us? Well, we got ourselves into a new cassette tape. This is denominated as the first cassette tape called You Found Something. With a Morse code that decrypted it says. But we already knew this, although it really wants us to know that Ame went missing, or in this case, died by the hands of Ao. Phew, got all that? Well, get it together quickly. We just started. So, these cassette tapes reveal a lot of the questions we got back in 2021. There are canonically 5 tapes. We found 2, but this next one really blew me out of the water. So some videos like the first Holo Talk episode, the KFP ad, and the Kiara's deteriorating mind have a link in common. This one being a cassette tape denominated as You Finally Found This. This cassette tape has an insane amount of lore dumps. The first clue is a QR code that leads to a Pigpen cipher which decoded it gives us. If you think about it, Kiara has been dead since the moment we first saw her. Wait, because that's actually so fucked up, hold on. And the next mystery is the Morse code. Decoded, it gives us this insane information. The issue that I investigated. Kiara has earned eternal life won from the Ao upon annihilation of Kiara's mind. She can't trust everything that has happened to her this far. Holy shit! This basically tells us that Kiara's eternal life was an exchange with Ao for the annihilation of her own mind. What? Although my question is, since they want immortality, how and why would they give Kiara eternal life and not to themselves? Or maybe eternal life and immortality don't mean the same, when they are basically synonyms. But these lore dumps are essential to create the character of Ao and their purpose. Speaking of, Ao has always been very suspicious. First, we get the fact that we can trust Kiara because she traded her own sanity for an eternal life, and also we get the fact that Ao may just be lying about Amelia One's death. If you think about it, in Amelia's birthday video and also her life as a failed artist, it may just indicate that she's not dead to say, but rather in a weird limbo. Maybe the underworld, or just maybe somewhere nowhere at the same time. We do get confirmation of that in the 5th tape, which is found on the video called Holo Date, where in the end we get a partial YouTube link which takes us to it. At first we get a Caesar cipher, typical Emico. Translated it says, which already proves my point of Owl being misguiding and that probably Emilia 1 isn't truly dead but stuck in the underworld like Callie. Although Callie is there for, other reasons like, experimentation maybe. 3 seconds later we get a binary code which decodes this phrase 3 times in a row. Which makes sense. What we've been trying to do is to get the 5 tapes and create an order where it makes sense. And there's also a Morse code that says Kiara Falls Memory Syndrome, which is an illness that is caused by memories of traumatic episodes and has symptoms such as mental experiences that people may believe are accurate to past events. And Emico really wants to make sure we get that Kiara, while broken mentally, is not to trust at all with information. So all that happens to Kiara can be taken with a grain of salt. Lastly, this tape takes us to a secret video we'll discuss in a later chapter. We got 4 out of 5 tapes right now. We have 1 left, and curiously enough, I'm fucking stupid. So it's currently June and I've been stuck trying to find tape 2, only to realize that in tape 1, if you wait long enough, tape 2 appears and that's how you get to it. I am so fucking mad, that took me too long to do it, fuck. Anyway, tape 2 hides a Caesar cipher on the thumbnail, funnily enough. Decoded, it says, there's something you can find again. I hold these cassettes just in case. There's a choice you will find in the end of everything. Just trust me. This may be Emilia 1 speaking to someone about the disappearances, but that isn't clear until we solve the Morse code, which says, to the alternate timeline version of me, you have to find Callie. You will find Kiara that way. Ine is dead. She's gone. You can't save her. It's up to you whether or not you kill her or not. Just keep Gura safe. That's all I ask. Wow, that's quite an insane revelation. The fact that Emilia 1 actually knows that an alternate version of her appears is quite mind-boggling, not gonna lie. But by the looks of it, she also advises Ame 2 to find Callie so they can find Kiara, which so far she wasn't able to do. She also gives the information that Ina is totally dead. Kinda. And that she wants to keep Gura safe. One thing I take in consideration is the fact that some things may just be the Ancient Ones just fucking with the viewer, making them think about useless things, Because maybe since Gura's death causes the reset of the timeline, then maybe they want her alive and safe. But that just is speculation at this point. This series really made me question my own sanity, swear to god. So far we gathered all 5 tapes. If we put them together in order, like they asked us before, the story would go like this. Emilia Watson has been reported missing after investigating Takanashi Kiara's disappearance. She, while being disappeared, may just be dead or in limbo, where she records cassette tapes to herself of an alternate timeline, and pleads to them to find Callie and Kiara, protect Gura, and leave Ina for dead. While Emilia 2 found Gura, her goal of finding Callie may be difficult as she's disappeared and reported for being experimented on, using a video of her loved one dying as a way for her to create fear. Fear of death, making her killable. After a while, Emilia 1 comes back to give Emilia 2 information regarding Kiara's mental state. She's by far the only other Emilia who was investigating her disappearance. It seems she found out that Ao gave her eternal life in exchange of her mind annihilation, meaning that all that happened to Kiara or whatever she may have confessed may be false. It is later revealed that Kiara may have been suffering from both schizophrenia and false memory syndrome. Emilia 1 reminds Emilia 2 that the Ancient Ones are able to shapeshift and lie about certain scenarios that may have happened. And with that, we reach the end of part 1. I'm really sorry this video got to be a 2-parter because it had to, it really had to. My state of mind of discovering that this video is literally 13 pages long with only 3 chapters in it is kinda wild. So expect chapter 4 and 5 to be next and way shorter and released later this year. This part gave us a whole new insight into the HoloMYTH story with all the stuff I missed and the stuff we missed out on. Next part, we'll be tackling the secret videos and the secret messages in official release videos, just time runners or Gura's Christmas, while also creating a new timeline of events that may give a fitting end to such a mysterious series that many people are on the look. Thanks again to the Emico Otero Discord, they helped me a lot, like a lot. This video's research was way more fun discovering things and much easier. Kind of difficult because I'm kind of dumb, but it was more fun. And I'll see you in the next part soon.